Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, Goldsmith. It is the 15th of May, 2024. And we got a little trickle, a little things along the way to keep us going as we head towards Genesis Week 2024. Officially, Blossom season is overdone, kaput. Close the books on it. We do know that on the backside of our Blossom season, headed into this little no man's zone between Blossom season and Genesis season. We do have the tease along the way that we are headed into the Blossom season race this Friday. That means that as of right now, all of the leaderboards for Blossom season are closed. The final tabulations are occurring now, and the updated leaderboard will be out, and we will know who is in what place as of tomorrow, in what placing for the races for Friday. Keep in mind that there is a delay in the update of the leaderboards. So the leaderboards as they sat earlier this morning, they were not and should not be taken as the final standings for the season. We do have two other small things, I think. Blossom season, again, ending. We do know that we have a couple things that are still outstanding, still to be done. We do have the final burns. We have final burn closing for the Mother's Day Block Explorers. We have 2 days left to do that for this coming Friday, the 17th, being the last day to get our burns in. And, of course, I'm going to do some self-promotion, some shameless self-promotion, because I do have some fun things to do between now and Genesis Week. Tomorrow, I will be speaking with, hopefully, fingers crossed, I think we got schedules to work finally, one and only Banana, talk about his nomination for headed towards Genesis Week 2024 as Uplander of the Year. Also be talking on Friday with D-Tech about his nomination for Designer of the Year, which will be our second Designer of the Year nominee to have a discussion with, to support and discuss the UGC community, as well as individual things that artist has done in their background. So looking forward to that opportunity as well. And otherwise starting that walk, that roll, that travel, that transit towards Genesis Week 2024. And with that, Upland sends out another reminder. You see it in game. 3 weeks left to Genesis Week 2024. Tickets still available. Buy. So Upland still wants to get you there. And with that, we might just do one more tease. I feel like I do it every day of the week, but it's a limited opportunity. There's only so much time left to jump in. There's only so much time left to book those tickets, and prices could be going up shortly. So with that, one more tease. All views and opinions expressed by myself, obviously, they are mine and mine alone. They shouldn't be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent the game or the team of Upland. Guests or contributors who we do have on, they have their own opinions. They are welcome to them. They shouldn't be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent myself, the Goldsmith of the Cafe Nightly Show. They don't represent the game or the team of Upland, of course. And with that, let's take a look at the live updates coming from the game of the team today. Again, the big one being the end and the close of the Blossom season, and the race leaderboards closing up as well. So we'll take a look at some of the details of that race leaderboard. Reminder of what to expect as far as who's going to do what and who's going to get what as the team finalizes the standings for the Blossom season race leaderboard. And then let's take a quick peek at what that looks like. And we'll get that back up, and this back over here, and then one more here, and then one more there, and there it is. Popping right back up for the Blossom season racing ending here. Blossom season racing series. Thanks to everyone who participated in the Blossom seasonal racing series. The leaderboard has officially closed, and the team is conducting a full review of all the data to ensure suspicious activity is removed from the standings and as those standings are finalized. We hope to have a final leaderboard posted tomorrow. Tomorrow is tomorrow. So this was a post that was done earlier today, 4:49 Eastern time. This is Wednesday the 15th. So the 16th, tomorrow, we should have that finalized leaderboard. And I think it's interesting. It's interesting that Upland has put the note here, suspicious activity, and this idea of removing those people who are in the standings with suspicious activity. Upland has talked about a little bit about these racing series, about how people participate, and if people are using suspicious means to climb the rankings. And people had talked about this idea of intentionally gaming the racing system, even though these are supposed to be open races. These are supposed to be races that are open to the public. If people are going and trying to manipulate that situation, if they're trying to stack races, if they're trying to use means outside of the game itself, any type of botting or the like, to enter into these races, to participate in a larger number of races than they would be able to do with their own beings and their own ability to participate. Those are things that Upland's going to look into, and if they seem to be a violation of the rules, they'll be gone right out of there, not in the leaderboard. So definitely make sure you follow the rules of Upland. It's always an evolving element of the game, is that people keep finding new ways to bend the rules when we do get into new areas of the game. Obviously, the basics of rules of the game of Upland that have kind of drawn a red line in the sand, what can be and not be done in Upland. Some of those rules still remain the same, even though we're in a little bit of a different environment, even though we're talking about racing rather than layer 1 Upland, or rather than property purchases or collection swaps or whatever the case is. If you're using an automated means to participate in a race outside of Upland, we're using some type of tool that is manipulating or is helping contribute to your racing success, that would be an issue. If you are trying to gamify or trying to game the system when it's supposed to be an open race, and you're trying to corner the market on all these races with accounts that may or may not be all valid, that is gaming the system. That is a violation of the terms of service. Definitely is something worth considering, that we want to stay within those rules, and we want to continue to play the game of Upland. We don't want to end up with our account in Alcatraz. Definitely something to watch out for and be aware of what those rules are, and continuing to travel along the straight and narrow and follow the rules of the game as you continue on. All right, with that, let's go back and take a look and see if those updates seem to make sense. I know the last couple of times we've taken a look at those race standings. Those race standings have seen a little weird. It looks like they have a hard time loading. It looks like the new push that Upland has put through there has been a little bit on the far side of the long side of load times. Let's take a look and see if we get that back up. Racing Series Upland Blossom season, like we said, it did come to an end. But the basics here, there we go. They're up and running. These changed a little bit. Again, finalization, wait for tomorrow. We do have our top 5 that we do have very similar to what we had before. Shinraza first, Metapook second, JH2271, ACCA, PROPY, I think it's Acropoppy is what we call that, and Sam Mahoney top 5 in the championship circuit. Championship circuit being key here, it is the top 12 in the championship circuit that will be racing on Friday. Those top 12 racing the championship circuit, racing for prizes, racing for points towards the end of the season. End of the series being Genesis Week this year. So they have another race, and it's those top racers that have an opportunity to get year-end rewards. And it is a chance to, again, race in the public view. It's something that is done officially on an Upland racetrack. It's broadcast by Upland. It's exciting to see those races happen. We do see that in our other race series, we do see a lot of the same names, the same positions. No big changes there, but obviously Upland is continuing to look at these results at the end of the season. The other thing to keep in mind, or I'm looking at, is we have this evolving idea of what this racing looks like. Upland's going to continue to have racing as a part of seasons. It looks like every season is going to have a different way to participate or a little bit different rules. I want to see, or curious to see, what we end up doing in Genesis season, because in Blossom season we added this idea of max performance score to help regulate who's in what category. It's an interesting consideration in that your MPS can be, and not at the moment, can be modified once we have the one-time boost or the race-wide boost. Once we have those, you could be elevating yourself to a higher MPS, competing in a different class than you would with the base of the car. And it will be interesting to see how that kind of shapes its way out and becomes a bigger part of racing in the future. The other thing that has changed is the points and how they were given, and this idea of participating in open races that are open to the public that many people can participate in, and not just to your private racing all the time around. The dates on this, again, the big dates. The season ended yesterday, May 15th, 9 a.m. PT. Blossom Season Race Championship Series. Again, that is only for the top tier racers. That is going to be Friday, May 17th at 11:30 a.m. PT. That's when the race actually gets kicked off. The leaderboard car classes, obviously, we saw them the 175 to 226. That's that top tier, the Upland Championship Circuit. There's the 153 to 160, the 134 to 152, the 90 to 132. My favorite, the carts. So congratulations to people in the carts, because, again, that is the everyman's race series. That is the people didn't pay a lot extra to be in a fancier car. That is everyone having the same stats in that race. All the cars have carts have the same racing stats, and it's fun to see who rises to the top in that series. It's not always the same people who are in the other series, which again tend to have many of the same racers with high standing positions throughout those separate leaderboards. The MPS leaderboards cater to a wide variety and range of racers with multiple opportunities to participate and win. Players are able to participate and win on multiple leaderboards. Again, that's the key thing. We saw a lot of the same racers throughout the leaderboard set. Every single leaderboard they show up on. The point system, again, this is a little different than it had been previously. We will see this potentially changing as we get into Genesis Week. Upland continues to titrate this racing. We saw this already. And again, the majority of the racing comes down to staking. You had to be able to and willing to stake in those races if you want to climb the leaderboards and get yourself into a finals position. Key thing on the finals position, like I said, 12 racers will be racing on Friday on that top tier, the championship series. We're going to have one race with races or finishers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 on the leaderboard. Second race with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 on the leaderboard race each other. Top 3 finishers in each race goes to the final. The final is the final. The final is going to result in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the end, or in the final standings for that championship series for Blossom Season. Key thing there is, let's look at some prizes. Top 10 racers in each leaderboard will receive prizes ranging from Upex to Spark with special badges for championship series. Again, championship series, specifically that highest MPS tier, the 176 to 226 MPS tier. Again, award to the top 3 finishers. These awards are not only recognition of achievements, but also they fuel the competitive spirit. That's why people want to compete so hard or work so hard in these races, is because they know there's some decent prizes along the way and a little bit of accolades they can give themselves with these badges. Players achieve the coveted first place in their vehicle class. They receive 150,000 Upex, 0.25 Spark. Second place in each class, 100,000 Upex, 0.15 Spark. Third place, 75,000 Upex, 0.1 Spark. We're going to do this all the way to 10th place here. 50,000 Upex between 4th and 10th place. 50,000 Upex and 0.05 Spark. And then, if we are going to be in the championship series, we're also going to be earning some points along the way. Those points go to the end of the season. Those points are going to be used to get the championship circuit for the end of the season. And that is going to, again, have its own prize set and is going to have its own competition here at Genesis Week 2024. So we're watching that play out as well. All right. Getting into the end of Blossom season as well. Knowing that after we've ended the season, Blossom structural ornaments, they still have value. They can still be left on your property. They can be left year round. We can continue to see those, decorate the game of Upland. Continue to see people use those, on their properties, and that is going to be some of the beauty of differentiation of your property. They no longer are going to be into and calculated in an ornament contest. They are going to, in theory, have value again next year for the ornament contest, allowing you to earn points for keeping them as in-season ornaments, decorating your structures that are in the collections. But for now, we will see a shift of focus on the value, on the importance, on the speculation. Being on Genesis Week ornaments already started back up with people, moving from their interest in one to the other, potentially going and buying some of the Genesis ornaments from last year. I know I have a number myself that just because there was a sale of Genesis ornaments last year, picked up a number myself, held on to those. The structure ornament secondary shops are already seeing some action and getting some movement there. So take a look if you are interested in doing so, getting ready for the Genesis month, Genesis season 2024 ornament contest that will be obviously kicking off on the 1st of June, just a couple weeks down the road. We do also see two other small things that I want to point out and push out that I already said. Do have some interviews coming up shortly. Looking forward to Banana tomorrow. Looking forward to D-Tech on Friday. And otherwise, just keep our ears open, eyes open for Genesis Week 2024 news along the way. Upland again today, promoting, pushing out 3 weeks left. Get ready. Get your tickets if you're going to be in person. I also take that as get ready if you're going to participate in Upland Genesis Week overall. If you're going to be taking part virtually, get ready. Keep in mind that we had kind of this tease that no, it's not coming, but maybe it's coming. Maybe it's going to come at some point. We have another chapter of our airdrop that'll come at some point. The Chapter G airdrop. Keep in mind that's a special airdrop just for in person while at the live event. Upland's talked about running events, special events in between seasons. We are going to be right into between season between now and the 1st of June. Maybe Upland gets something stuck in here between now and then. And of course, if Upland is dropping a little pieces, a little morsel, if we're watching the Upland Twitter account and we see anything popping up there, it's probably not a bad idea to take note, to see what's going on there, because I can't stress enough that the hints along the way can change the way you play the game. But Upland gives those hints to everyone, but you have to be looking out and putting your eyes out there to see it. Today, dropping in Upland's Twitter, take a quick look at that. Today, dropping Upland's Twitter always has those little push things along, always has those suggestions, always has those audience participation, or always has those community engagement items. Community engagement items that I think was fun. Look at this image. Look at this little pixel llama with a fishing pole. Isn't that fun? At Upland, we're all about supporting the Layer 2 developers, but we want to know, what would you like to see most from these spaces? More mini games, more utility, more tools. What are you looking for? So this is a key thing, obviously. We already know Genesis Week Hackathon 2024. It's kicking off. It's coming. We already have 5 finalists. Those 5 finalists will be presented on stage, and it will be Upland's team or Upland's panel that makes that decision. Last year, historically, and the year before, there was a panel. There was a public panel, so you could see them judging, so you could hear them ask questions, so it could be a public event when we talk about the judges interacting with the finalists. But it was not a public vote. Here's the interesting thing. Upland asking here in advance of the hackathon what people are looking for, what people they want. Maybe Upland can kind of fold that into their criteria when they look at the finalists, when they look at those hackathon entries to see who might be taking home those prizes. There's me. Look at that. Otherwise, the only other thing that I did want to point out here is Upland tooting their own horn. More power to you, Upland, for doing so. Replying to a Jesus Martinez. Here's the problem. Crypto gaming projects are promising future utility, but are launching tokens before utility is coming. Obviously, Upland has a response there. For the last 5 years, we've been building our economy. We introduced utility as an in-app token 2 years ago. Again, we're talking about Sparklet or Spark. Again, Sparklet, new term, Spark. The previous term, 2 years, Spark in the game of Upland had utility, building utility, enhancing it. New things could be done with it, as we did get map assets, as we did have people building those map assets with Spark. We talked about the enhance of the future utility of Spark being able to be burnt, not just staked, burnt to make legit. That hasn't happened yet, but it is coming. And now, only after building that utility for the last couple of years, bringing Sparklet in or preparing for the release of Sparklet as a coin drop, as a token that's exchangeable outside of Upland. So that was a little bit of a fun Upland tooting their own horn today, but especially if you're outside. Look at that. I liked it. If you're outside the Upland ecosystem, if that's your first understanding of Sparklet and you like coins and you're keeping track of coins and you see what Jesus Martinez has to say and you say, I agree with you, Jesus. I agree with you. Crypto gaming does need more utility on their coins. They can't just drop coins and then 3 years later, maybe they give the utility that they originally built the coin for. We have seen so many coins do this, meme coins, and as well as mainstream coins, where the utility follows the market, follows building a certain level of circulation. And again, it is huge that is not the case for Sparklet. I am excited for the launch. I'm excited for the continued airdrops that we will have along the way, and to see what happens as at the point where player to player, peer to peer, you can buy or sell or exchange your Sparklet. You have to do it outside the game of Upland. You can do it outside the game of Upland. You potentially have the opportunity once that all happens for people to have integrations in their layer 2 games, in their layer 2 ecosystems. We don't know what that will all entail in the future, but we do know that it does open up the opportunity for people to acquire Sparklet, not direct from Upland, but on the secondary market from other players who've already accumulated. That would be exciting to see how that market evolves. But as many Uplanders look at it, or as I've looked at it for a long time, Spark is something I'm holding. I want to get a larger amount, not a smaller amount. The idea of having a token or the ability to sell it outside the game of Upland is not something I'm looking at doing my Sparklet. It does open up the opportunity for buying more Sparklet, assuming that I can't earn as much as I want to earn. We'll see how Genesis Week 2024 plays out, because we know we have some decent earning opportunities there for Spark as well. But, again, this is something to keep your eyes on, your ears to the ground, and keep on following, because the release of Sparklet will be big news. So for today, thank you so much for being here. Not a lot of news. Looking for more tomorrow. Looking forward to the one and only Banana tomorrow here live in the Upland Discord Cafe, live on Twitter, live on YouTube as well, and looking forward to taking those comments, having that conversation live in a very live format. Thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Meet you where you are, wherever you are, in the Twitter and the YouTube and the Upland Discord Cafe. But if you're the Upland Discord Cafe, as always, please feel free to unmute your mic. When we end the show, we go back to the Discord Cafe, and the floor is yours.